Hey guys, welcome back. Today we start work on our 69 Z28. This car, if you remember, was one of the ones that we've purchased off of eBay, late night purchase. Um, some of these rebuilders we're doing just to have some fun. The idea behind this car is we are going to leave it mostly as is. The orange paint stays. It's not a bad paint job at all. It's showing its wear, a little age, but that's okay. Um, we're gonna change the grill. It did have an RS grill in it, and there are no other RS options on it. The tail lights, the reverse lights in the pan, interior uh, door panels, stuff like that. It's got the standard interior in it, so we're going back to a standard grill, open headlight. That grill is, well, that's what they look like from Revell. We've opened that one up. I do it with just sanding the backside of it. So I open them up and then use a nice sharp hobby knife and open up the crate, the egg crates, the rally wheels. We've got a set of resin rally wheels out. We're going to go with a 15-inch rally wheel on this, and instead of the chrome wheel that came on it. Um, whoever had built the car did a nice job of painting up the wheel and picking out the air holes in there. Um, they had a monogram Goodyear GT radial on the back, a bit taller. It gives it a good day two look. But we have Goodyear Polyglass 15-inch white letters to go on it. We will open those up also and shoot those the correct shade of argent, much like we did with, you remember our Nova over here, who's still getting little bits of work done here and there. You open them up, paint them the correct color. It's a nice looking bare rally wheel. Then there'll be other parts that we're just changing up. The engine, I had that one done already for another car, never made it, so with all the markings on it, we're going to use that engine. A couple other pieces, parts, but mostly we're going to just detail up, paint, clean, polish a lot of this, and make it to be a survivor style car. Not over restored, but just a survivor. Um, and front bumper, I'm going to try. I've got one with bad chrome. We'll go ahead and try to make it look like a elastomeric bumper, a rubber bumper, in Hugger Orange. If the Hugger Orange doesn't match or at least come close, then we'll just put a steel bumper on it, a chrome bumper, and call it good. So that's where we're going to start. Interior is already out. We've had it mostly apart. We're going to need to pull that engine out, do a few things on the chassis. We'll clean the interior, polish the glass. Um, let's get started. All right, so we got the car apart in sub-assemblies. Started working on a few things. So far, the interior we've dusted and cleaned. The only change I made in there was to the shift knob. I went with a chrome shift knob instead of the white finish that had on there. A 69Z would have had a chrome knob on it. But otherwise, we're leaving the interior alone. If it would have had the upscale interior with wood grain on the dash and stuff, it would have had a wood grain inset in there in the console, but we don't have to worry about that. Our engine, I've got the headers are new from a donor kit. The other headers were in a gloss white finish, and it was better to start over with a fresh set. These are in a gray finish. If you recall, a 69 Z28, the header was a factory option, but it was dealer installed, so the headers would have come in the car and the dealer puts them on. So, but the gray finish on them, we know that these are Thomas headers, and the Thomas headers had a slip. We know because they had a slip fit deal on the end instead of a flange, and they would have been a gray color, a gray finish out of the box. So I think what we need just our accessories on the front, the alternator and belts. Air cleaner we grabbed from the other engine. Firewall, we're going to change a few things on it. We got it out, and the power wire runs across here. That's in gray on this one. Comes over to the blower motor. That should be a red finish. The orange wire should be black. Finish colors are backwards on the booster and the master. That booster would have a gold finish on it. Master cylinder is an iron piece, so get that fixed up. The grill, that's our grill that we opened up from before. We just shot that in argent. The battery's ready to go for a little detail. Painted it black. Drive shaft. Cleaned some flash off of it. Otherwise, we're just going to paint the joints on the ends and then detail it. That's about where we're at with the Camaro right now, so we'll keep plugging along here. We're really moving along pretty good on this thing. The chassis, I'm going to call it just about, it should be done, unless I missed something. Exhaust back on it. Shocks are on. We got the drive shaft in. It even got a few balancing marks on it. Our 302 is in. The headers to made up there, nice. And the steering, inner and outer tie rods, and we left the sleeves in black. And our sway bars up front there. I think they got a little touch up on the front of the alternator. Fans on. It's looking pretty good. These rebuilders are a lot of fun. Sometimes you just gotta mess around with junk and have some fun. Interior's done. I stole the rally wheels from the Nova because they're already painted and done. So we'll do those resin rallies that I had for this car. We'll do those for the Nova. But in the interest of saving time, we're going to steal the Nova's rally wheels. Getting close. I mentioned earlier about the firewalls and the difference in colors that were on the brakes, the booster and the master cylinder and that. So I thought I'd show you guys. On the right-hand side is the one that came out of the car. You got that orange wire that runs from the driver's side through the loom down to the bottom there. And if you look at a firewall on one 69 Camaro, there is a red wire, but it comes from the underside, which is on the left. This firewall on the left, and it runs over towards the heater box. The booster is in a gold finish, and then an iron finish, which looks really light in the camera. It looks like aluminum, but it's a flat steel finish. And then I put the X under the heater box and a paint dab, some assembly line markings. So this guy probably did something out of memory. Looked good. I'm picky, so we're gonna fix it. What I use for reference on I always go to the internet for reference. Just like if I'm restoring a car. Camaro stuff, first gen Camaro stuff. The Camaro Research Group is an excellent place for reference pictures. They'll talk about the battery, for instance. The battery out here. Okay, the battery, focus on it, is a top mount battery. So later in 1969, in the model year, they went to a side post battery. So this car, the model is modeled after an earlier build. It'd have to be before April. And I forget the code on the battery, but it would be, the caps on that battery would be in yellow, not red. So we'll finish it, we'll put a Delco decal on it and finish the caps in yellow. But then later in the model year, they made a running switch to a side terminal battery. And the Camaros 69, 67 and 8, there were no cowl hoods. 69 was the first year for a cowl hood, and those didn't come till into the run. Now, see, most every 69 Camaro you see has a cowl hood. It's probably been put on. But if they're a real early production car, it had a flat hood. My car that I own is earlier production, and it had a flat hood. It had a top mount battery and the tachometer. I forget what the exact difference is, but the RPM on the tachometer was different. And that's how a few giveaways of an early build car. This model has the cowl hood with it, but it is possible to overlap the start of production with cowl induction hoods before the batteries were changed to side terminal when they were doing that. So anything like that, Camaro Research Group is excellent for Camaro. You just got to look around, and whatever you're building, I'm sure there's some good information on it online. All right, guys, we are going to finish out the video with a look at this gem. We're getting close on time, so we'll finish up the Camaro next time. And there is a new 230 girl coming, and we will check it out. But to close this out here, I wanted to show you this gem I've had for a minute. In keeping with the fun on the cheap and the 230 girl kind of deal, this is a marketplace find. So Facebook Marketplace, eBay, garage sales, flea markets, this stuff's out there. The Johan 72 Oldsmobile Tornado, promotional, and it's far from perfect, but we paid far from what they normally go for. Chrome's wiped on it in places, paint, very dirty, dusty inside. A-pillars were broken, and they fixed them up with some, a little bit of plastic there. But just something cool to either clean up, put on the shelf. You could restore it. You could modify the shit out of it if you want. I don't know. I dig the history of the promotionals, where they came from, what they stand for. Back in the day when you could go and it was fun to buy a new car. You had the books to look at. You had promotional models. You take a nice test drive. They put on clinics at the dealerships. Those days are gone. But this is just a reminder of that. I'm guessing you can, it seems like you can get parts for these now, the Johan promotionals, if you wanted to restore one. Or you could strip the chrome, have these hubcaps done again, the bumpers. You know about paint. It's like they see it out here on the vinyl top. The paint didn't come all the way down to the body line, to the base of the top. But it's good enough for me. It's good enough for Deep Junk Garage, and it's fun, cheap, and that's the idea. That's going to do it this time, guys. I appreciate everyone for stopping and leaving likes and commenting. It's a good community, great community. We will see you all next time.